Andy here. What's happening? I am joined today by Suzanne Olszewski and Bruce Nelson. Suzanne's with Ricoh. Bruce, you are with Hytec Repair Dealer Services. How are you guys doing? What's happening?
Hey, excellent. Thank you. How are you doing?
I am great. I can't complain. I am in the pink, as we like to say around here. Um, you guys have a great story to talk about. I wanted to kind of check in, and we've had your story on here a few times over the years, but this is such a great little event, I guess we'll call it, right? It's a golf tournament that you host, Ricoh. Suzanne, you're the representative from Ricoh. Bruce, you were with Ricoh, and now you're with Hytec Repair Dealer Services, and you're still very involved with this tournament and have brought Hytec on to be a major sponsor. I watched the growth over the years, and it's just been an incredible event to be a part of. I've got my sponsorship. Bruce, you were right. I did get a flag last year. I forgot that I did, or the year before. It was in Jake's office. I snaked it for the call today, but
Very nice.
we're all in pink today. I've got my crabby pink shirt on, because that's how I golf. I've got my pink What's Happening. Let's start with you, Suzanne. Tell us first of all, tell us what you do for Ricoh, and then a little bit about yourself and maybe why you're involved with this charity. Actually, you know what? Before we get in why you're involved, why don't you tell us what the charity is about?
All right. So I've been with Ricoh for 20 years. I'm the director of leasing for Ricoh Financial Services, which is our internal leasing department. I got involved with the American Cancer Society making strides against breast cancer. My goodness, about 10 years ago, when one of our coworkers was diagnosed with breast cancer, it was our way to support her. The American Cancer Society, they've got a number of different programs that our money goes to fund, right? Whether it's Road to Recovery, it's the Hope Lodge, it's research. It's so important that that we can raise this money and we can help those that are fighting this disease.
Absolutely. Great. It's just such a great charity, right? Anything cancer related, but I think the breast cancer one is another level because it just, I don't know, we're at a point in our lives where I know far too many people that has impacted, and it's just nice to be able to contribute and do so in such a just a fun way with so many smiles on people's faces, and to see so many people that we all know. Bruce, a little bit about your background. Tell us your story and where you came from and what you're doing involved with this.
Like you said, I did about 3 decades with Ricoh, loved it, and still have children that work with Ricoh. So I always say I still bleed Ricoh red. So to be able to stay involved is a blessing. And on the Hytec side, I've been there about 4 years. Eric Allman, the president, way back when we outsourced business from Ricoh to Hytec, we became good friends. And Hytec's been a sponsor from the very first year. This is going on our 9th year for the tournament. And then, personally being involved, it would take me too long to list all the people affected by cancer, breast cancer in my life, and most importantly, my wife. So, about the same time as Suzanne got involved with the American Cancer Society, I still serve on a board there and love doing all of that. We do the Men Wear Pink campaign, and we do, things like she was mentioned already, the Hope Lodge is one that I encourage anyone that's seeing this to maybe take a little look at the Hope Lodge. There's 44 of them across the country, and it gives someone a place to stay if they're far away. And you know how hard chemo and treatments are. If you have to travel 4 and 5 hours to get there and then drive back home, it's just not going to work. So the Hope Lodge is set up for people to stay there while they're doing their treatment. We have one here in Atlanta on Emory University. So 64 beds, and it's full all the time. So it's a positive, but at the same time, think about there's 64 families affected every day we're talking about this.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's heartbreaking in a way, but just to have those kinds of resources in those places and set up for people who don't want to make that ride home or can't make that ride home at the end of a procedure like that is it's heartwarming. It's nice to feel like you make a difference, that you can help, and boy, have you made a difference. 10 10 years, have you added up all the money you've raised? I know
Yeah.
I know last year was a breakthrough year. We went over $100,000 for the event for the first time. Amazing work. And then, so cumulatively, do you know where you're at this point? What's the big number?
Yeah, we are over $500,000. And big news is we've already raised as much as we did last year, and we're still 3 months out.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
let's talk about that. So for the last several years, at least since I've been involved, I don't know if you started here, but you've always been in a wonderful golf course in, if I'm gonna butcher the name, but Decula. Am I saying it right?
In Decula.
Yep.
Decula, yep.
Hamilton Mill Golf
Little
Course.
nice area right outside of Atlanta. Beautiful course. And so we've been there for years, right? And last year you did something. I missed it last year. I couldn't make it last year, but we were there with we were there in spirit. But tell us, tell us about the ball drop.
Want to do that?
No, go ahead.
So last year we added an event, almost a last minute thing that we had heard from another tournament, that they fly up in a helicopter and dump buckets of golf balls over a green, and the closest one to the hole wins $1,000, and the second closest I think was 500, and the ball that goes the farthest away I think was a couple hundred or something, or $100. And it was just a great, spectacular addition to the end of the tournament. So at the end of the day, after the tournament's over, helicopter came and picked up a breast cancer, say survivor, because now at this point, she is through all of her treatment, but she was actually in treatment at the time. So she rode in the helicopter, dumped the balls, and they fell all over the place. And the cool thing about that, Andy, is not only was it a visual thing, but it allows people, especially people that are listening to this now, to participate in the tournament if you can't come. So you're going to, you have a nationwide audience. We are in Atlanta. Not everyone's going to be able to fly to Atlanta on September 18th, by the way, and we'll throw that in there a couple times.
It'll be in the description, and links to register for everybody will be in the description.
And we will give you a link to the helicopter ball drop so they can go on there and buy the balls. We anticipate dumping 800 or so, maybe 1,000 balls from the helicopter, as long as we don't run into any weight issues.
Yeah.
But lots and lots of golf balls. And then somebody, and you do not have to be present to win. So someone that wants to support this remotely for us will help add us another element to the tournament.
Well, that bucket gets too big, maybe you upgrade the helicopter to one of those big boy Chinooks, those double bladed fellas, right? We'll get something out there. I know you're down there in Atlanta. They've got to have a few of those Chinooks laying around somewhere.
Sure, there's somewhere.
So that ball drop was, and I missed it last year. Obviously, I didn't go. But years before, what you had done was a closest to the hole. Actually, the year before I remember was a closest to the hole, which was kind of fun. And you'd done it differently over the years. The last one was kind of fun because everybody hit at the same time, and you had a lot of people hitting at the same time. And I still didn't come anywhere near. But I think Hero that year, or all of our friends Hero, I think he either won or did really well in that contest.
Came very close, and that was a putting contest. Yeah.
Yes. So everybody was close to the hole, and everybody had to putt, and everybody surrounded the hole and putted at the same time, and it was the wildest thing. I think the helicopter drop is a little bit better for my needs. I think there's just too many golfers that are far better players than I am for me to compete in that contest.
Andy, we call it chaos putting for a reason.
Oh my gosh. The helicopter thing. So I'm gonna dig up a link to that video. I'll put it below in the description for this video, just so you can see it, because like I said, I didn't get to see it, but I did see the video of it, and it was spectacular, man. Those balls came flying out of that helicopter, and I think it was so everyone was surrounding the green, and it was just such a great scene, and what a way to end that tournament. So unfortunately and fortunately, but bittersweet, I guess, we won't be going back to that facility anymore. As great as they were, as great as they treated you, and the reason that you are now at a record-setting pace for fundraising, we outgrew it, right? So let's talk about this year coming up, 2024. It's September 18th, was it, Bruce?
Yes.
Suzanne, yep. So let's talk about, we've got a new facility, a bigger tournament, and some new surprises. So what do you got for us?
Yeah, so we are moving the tournament up to Chateau Alon, which is in Brazelton. It's about 15, 20 minutes further north from Hamilton Mill, and it's 36 holes. So, last year we sold out in August. We sold out a full month before the event, and we want to continue to grow. We want to raise every year more and more money, and this was our opportunity. So we've made the move, and we're on a record pace. We're already sold out on 18 holes. So Bruce disagrees with me, or he's a little skeptical.
Cautiously optimistic.
I think we might end up with a full 288 players. I'm throwing it out there. I think we might fully sell out both courses this year.
That would
we're
be
going to push it on
phenomenal.
our end for sure. Anybody who wants to go, we'll make sure they get in touch with you guys. You don't have to be a Ricoh dealer. Just
No.
maybe if you're at least a Hytec customer. It's good if you're a Ricoh dealer too, obviously. But
it's so cross-functional, Andy, and it is exciting that we're able to grow to the point to move to another course like this. And it's a resort course, like she said, on a winery. And Hamilton Mill was great to us. We could, plug them.
I loved it. It was beautiful.
Couldn't have been a better course. The only thing they were short was the 18 holes. But to the point of all the people coming, it is so cross industry. We have elevator companies that come. We have, you just go down the list from insurance to real estate to leasing partners, almost anyone that's involved with Ricoh or Hytec.
Or the industry.
I was going to say, and a plug for the consortium.
Anyone in the consortium, we should really push this through there. It's a great thing. Hero is going to be there from Stromalio Consulting. Mike Sadowski is going to be there from Mars. Mars has always been a big sponsor of this. We've had companies in the past that have sponsored. ESP has sponsored this in the past. Trying to remember some of the others. Bob Goldberg came one year. Maybe we get Bob to come back again this year. Milner is all over that event. There's just a ton of Milner people. I was going to try to set this up. My internet wasn't working fast enough, or I could, for some reason, my pages weren't coming in quick enough, but I wanted to kind of flip through the pictures because it's a who's who. There's a lot of people you guys, people are going to know, a lot of people from Ricoh, a lot of people from all these other companies. Eric will be up if, from Hytec. You get all these different power companies there. It's a really fun event. And then the raffle. So at the end, are you doing a raffle again? Because
absolutely.
First time I ever won anything in my entire life. And it was definitely not, it was the only time I've ever won anything golf related, that's for sure, even though it was the raffle after the golf tournament. But so who wants to talk about the raffle? Because that is a blast. The auction, the raffle, all that.
Yeah, we have been so incredibly fortunate, and it's because of the generosity of all of our sponsors and all of our local merchants. We raffle off an incredible amount of prizes, and over the last, I think, 2 or 3 years, right, we started auctioning off some items. We go everywhere. This year, right, we've got a great Delta vacation, right? Airfare, hotels, right? We'll
full
have
set of Callaway golf clubs.
Big
by the way, I meant to talk to you about that because it seems that those golf clubs are always righties. Just gonna throw that out there.
We can make an adjustment, but the ones we have to give out are right-handed clubs.
But I might be more interested in that other thing, that the
Delta vacation.
Even if you're left, you're right, doesn't matter. There's so much. So what other stuff? There's always. I know Eric's gonna put a big basket of liquor in it because that's what I won one year.
The famous bourbon, Eric's favorite bourbon.
That was the best prize ever. I can't believe I won it. I still have several of those bottles left, believe it or not. Somehow there's still some in them. But just so many more prizes. What other? And then there were. Tell us more about it. It was exciting. It was fun.
We always have our big grillin' raffle, right? So we always have at least 3 to 4 big grills. Last year we had that giant behemoth, right? But we always have a big green egg. They've been one of our supporters over the years. So it's a lot of great stuff.
And then I won't say smaller, but we have range finders, golf watches, you go down the list. It's usually 40, and now that we're double, 40 or 50 different good size raffle prizes. So
Yep.
again, credit to all the sponsors and the team that does some hard work going around to local vendors and companies here, everything from Home Depot to Lowe's, that all contribute as well. So it helps us put that together.
Yep.
It's just so much fun to be involved with it. You know, let's hit on the consortium members again, right? Like the flag. That was one of the things we're trying
you've got yours held up, and we've got this is what it looks like for anybody that's there. So what Andy's referencing is for $125, you can't get any better than that for an advertising. This is put on each of the 36 holes. We put a pin flag on, so it's there all day. And then at the end of the day, we take that, and like Andy shows you behind him, and Stramaglia's got one, and I go down the list. This year already, FP Mailing is a new addition, has got one.
Yes.
So we've got, and got to give Frank Kuko a shout out. He bought so many, we converted his into, he's the Chaos Putting sponsor this year. So, he's going to have the little mini pin flags on what you were talking about on the putting green. So the whole putting contest. So that's.
So let me stop you right there. Frank Kuko is, Impact Networking, right?
Yes.
Not an Atlanta company, people. This is a company in Chicago, right? It's a Midwestern company, but anybody can be involved with this. It's just an amazing event. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted people to realize that, this really has become something bigger than Atlanta, much bigger than the Southeast at this point.
So the good thing is we still have about 20 pin flags left to fill, and we've kind of saving them again for, hopefully, there's more than 20 consortium members. We have a good start. Mark Spears got one. I think Dominic's getting one, Patricia, DLL. We can go down the list, but
go down the list.
We would love to see, Hytec, of course, again this year. But we would love to see other members of the consortium and other members that are your customers and your viewers to, again, I think for a donation, 100% tax deductible, charitable, $125. You're there that day with your representation, and you get to keep it forever. So just one of the features. And then again, I don't want to not mention it again. If you can't and you don't want to do that, then buy a couple golf balls for the drop. Who knows the odds on that? The people that won last year, on one side, the golfers are a little sad, but on the other side, we like that it happened that way. People weren't present. It's people we get.
Oh, you know what? The golfers have enough fun. The golfers have enough fun.
They do all day. So we get to add to that. And you get to call people and say, "Hey, guess what? You won $1,000." So it's a great addition.
I wish I didn't think of it, but the last year I was there, Maurice Allen. We'll talk about Maurice in a second, but he had his head covers there for his charity, which is, I believe that's also a cancer-related charity.
He was a Men Wear Pink representative. He still helps on that. But the year he did Men Wear Pink, he also attended our tournament, and he had a pink dragon head cover custom designed for him. And by the way, we'll give her a plug too, because she's been great. It's by Daphne's Head Covers. She's very famous. You can find those in PGA Superstore. You can find Maurice's in there. And to this day, she still gives a piece of Maurice's back to the American Cancer Society. But what you mentioned was really fun. We gave one to every golfer 2 years ago.
Yep.
So it was, it supported breast cancer, as does the tournament, but it gave everyone, there you go.
There you go.
There, the pink dragon cover.
That's the best. Jake and I both have them. Everyone who was at that tournament has them. I golf with Mike Sadowski. I believe he's still got his. It's a great day. I'm going to try to flip through some of it. Oh, there he is. So we talked about Maurice, and let's back up. I saw you last week, actually, Bruce, and you guys were down here last week for the dedication of a bench that they were giving him for hitting a golf ball over Niagara Falls, right? This guy hit a ball clear over Niagara Falls. The only person who's ever done it before. There's some people we know, right? And so we had a nice little day. Eric came up, I came out. We took a lot of pictures. This is the small tournament, right? Now we've outgrown this one, but just some pictures. Here's some of the auction. And so, just an awesome day. But the beauty of Maurice is, this is a guy who hits the ball like you've never seen. If you haven't seen a long ball hitter, he's not just someone who hit the ball over. He's a multiple national champion. of that sport, or world champion. I'm not sure. I think it might be world champion.
World champion.
It's a long ball championship. And so you guys, Eric's, you guys at Hytec sponsor him for a few events here and there. And so you came up for that. But the best is he comes sometimes. He's coming to this one, I believe. He comes to the event and he golfs with everybody. So he joins your foursome for a little bit. And you kind of forget about it, and you know, you're just up there minding your own business on the green, trying to finish up and taking your time, and all of a sudden, you know, a ball comes rolling up on the green, and you turn around, and everyone behind you is on the tee box, and we were like, who's hitting the entire, clearing the fairway? It rolled up, and all of a sudden they come up, and sorry, and you know, it's Maurice, and he's hitting the ball 400 yards right onto the green, and you have to just stand there and laugh, and then he joins you. And man, see this guy hit one is just,
it's fun, and he's a great guy, and he just does so much for charity as well. And we're blessed to have him. That's one of the features, and maybe that's an.
You have many. You have several other professional athletes.
That's what I was going to mention. That we have, you know, another world champion. Now Maurice is a little different and special because he's a friend. He's done this. He's been in Men Wear Pink, and he supported the Putting on the Pink tournament for quite a few years. So he just, like you said, rides around, plays a couple of shots with each on 18. So we're solidifying a second person that he knows real well that will join us on the other 18 holes. So we'll have someone do that. But as you're playing through, we have other long drive champions, trick shot artists, those kind of things that will help you hit way down on a par 5, get you close enough to about 100 yards on a par 5. And if you hit that second shot in, you win a Pebble Beach trip. So you hit your little 100-yard shot in off of his drive, this long drive champion, then that's one of many prizes we have. Then on another hole, we have a Beat the Pro with an LPGA aspiring female that's going to be out there. And I challenge anyone to try to beat either one of them. We have Madison's been the last couple of years, and she's coming again. But on a par 3, trying to get closer to her than the hole is more of a challenge than you know, but it's fun to do. So as you're going through, we've had these comments. It's a great golf tournament, but there's something to do on almost every hole outside of just, you know, playing golf.
And I'm just going to mention my favorite part, maybe not my favorite, but one of my favorites is you can buy mulligans. You start with a couple, but you can buy more. Very generous of you, and probably a source of a lot of that fundraising. At least it is for, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's a fun turn. It's a
fun day. It's a fun day.
Not unheard of for someone to shoot, and people are going to laugh at this as your viewers are watching. I think the winners were 51 last year, so 21 under.
Well, you get a lot of help, right? And
there's a lot of help. The mulligans, there's a lot of good golfers.
Yeah,
you've got the pros.
You really said I've never been to another tournament like it. It's really just, it's just an awesome day, and it's been every year that I've gone to 2 or 3 of them. I think 2 of them at this point. But it's just so much fun, and you know, and the best part is you're raising, you know, at this point, well over $100,000 for breast cancer, and so you know, it's guilt-free fun, right? I mean, there you are.
And, you know, with our event, 100% of what we raise goes to the American Cancer Society.
Even better, even better. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming on and taking some time to talk about it. Maybe we can set up another one of these, check in a little further when we're maybe a month out, a little closer to the event, just remind everybody. But let's, Bruce, you and I are going to hammer on some consortium members, and maybe we can sell the rest of those flags. I look forward to seeing you guys down there. I can't wait to see the new facility. Thanks so much for taking the time. Any last messages for everyone? Bruce, why don't we start, and then Suzanne, take us home.
Well, you know, again, anyone that's watching, thank you. And Andy, thank you for giving us this forum and being able to talk about it like this, and know how many people watch and see you and the clicks that you get. So again, if anything anybody wants to do, we'd love to have you. Just would love to have you come and join us. If you can't, maybe the golf ball drop, maybe a pin flag, and then you're there with us in spirit. So thanks again.
Sure.
And I would just say over the last, 9 years, boy, it's been a labor of love. I mean, it's really just heartwarming to see how our event has grown, and it only grows because of the generous support of all our sponsors. So I would just urge everyone to go on and register or buy your golf ball today, because we want to set a record this year.
It's such a great event, and the bottom line is it's better than working that day, right? Come out,
That's
eat
for
some
sure.
good food, have a beer, drink or whatever, some sodas, and golf with some good friends, and raise some money for a charity that everybody can get behind, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much, and we're on Friday here, so have an awesome weekend, and we will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone.
Right.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.